Are you ready to level up your future? Every Saturday, PDTV brings you maths class on PDTV YouTube channel, the place where knowledge meets opportunity.
High schoolers, level up your brain. PDTV maths sessions every Saturday. Algebra, fractions, equations, functions, all made simple, all made fun. So you all jump on the bus, let's go to where your future is bright. Master what we say, master what we need. No game, no gimmicks, just knowledge we are defend. PDTV maths every Saturday.
My audio seems good from this side. Wait a second, guys. All right. So, persons on the Google Meet chat, let me know if you're hearing me right now. I had to do some adjustment just now. So please let me know if you're hearing me. As persons are saying the audio comes and goes, and I'm hearing it on my end, so I don't know what's happening. But we're gonna get it done anyway, so. All right. Let me refresh the screen. But we're gonna get it sorted out. Because the class has to go on. All right, so some people are not hearing, some persons say that they are hearing, so I guess you guys might have to maybe refresh your browsing history or something, or just try and see if there is any minor just try and see if there's any minor adjustment that needs to be made, because I made all the checks on my end and I am hearing quite clearly. All right, so okay, so I'm seeing Patricia Dean say it's okay now. Winsome Campbell, okay now. All right. I need some more feedback in terms of my audio. Right, so that's why we say that we need to just give continuous feedback so that we can make adjustments as time passes, just in case there is any issue. All right, persons who are in the Google Meet session, please let me know if you're hearing me loud and clear. Okay. Okay, sir, hearing you now. Yes, sir, hearing now. Perfect. All right, so nothing will stop the session today, guys. You know that those things come and go in terms of random things trying to affect the sessions. All right. And there might be a slight delay for the transition of the content on YouTube. All right. So that's whenever I probably ask a question, it will take like a few seconds for you guys to respond, and then it seems as if you're responding late. It's just a slight delay. But as time goes by, we'll get that sorted out. Perfect. So I run through the learning target already. All right. So as I said, we're on algebraic factorization. So let's start as basic as possible in terms of what is a factor. So YouTube stream chat, in your own words, what is a factor? What is a factor? Google Meet students, what is a factor in math? Let's go, guys. What is a factor? That's what we're looking on. So YouTube stream chat. Google, all right, let me call some names out from the Google Meet session. All right, let's see who is in the meet. Let's see who is here. Francis, what is a factor? That's what we're on. YouTube stream, what is a factor? Come on, man. At least one person must know what a factor is. Even if you have heard the word in different space. What is a factor? Okay. So
Sir,
yeah, go ahead, please.
a factor is a whole number that divides into another number exactly without leaving any remainder.
Perfect. So a factor is basically, as you said, a number that divides exactly into another number without leaving a remainder. Perfect. So for example, let's say, what if we're looking on, so based on the definition that you gave, let's use a very small number. What would be the factors of the number 2? So since by definition, a factor is a number that can be divided into another number without leaving a remainder, or divided into it exactly. How many factors does 2 have? Or what are the factors of 2? So looking at the number 2, how many factors does 2 have? Or what are the factors of the number 2? Come, Google me, the person who gave the definition just now. What are the factors of number 2?
Sir, the factors of 2 are 1, 2.
All right. So factors for 2, 1, and 2. Because based on definition, these numbers should be able to divide the 2 exactly without leaving a remainder. So let's say we say 2 divided by 1 and 2 divided by 2. This is equal to 2 and this is equal to 1. So there is no remainder after the division. So there is no remainder. So let's say there was a case where we had the number 3 and we wanted to find the factors of 3, and somebody says a factor of 3 is 2. Let's say somebody says 2. If we should divide 3 by 2, this is going to be equal to 1 remainder 1. So 2 is not a factor of 3. Remember, after the division, there cannot be any remainder if you want to consider it as a factor. It has to divide exactly into that number. All right, that's basically the basics of what a factor is. So, and to the definition, a factor is a number that divides another number evenly or exactly, right? Because we touched on some of the examples just now. So another word that could be used for evenly in this context would be, and for persons who are saying they don't understand, you're not going to get it immediately. All right, but as we move along, we'll provide some more clarity. So for example, factors of 18. So the factor of a number are all the numbers that can divide into that number exactly without leaving a remainder. And remember, the maximum factor of a number is that number. So let's say, for example, factors of 18. It cannot pass 18. Use that as a clue. Factors of 18 cannot pass 18. 18 has to be the last number. All right? So all those numbers that can divide exactly into 18 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for the person who are saying they don't understand, factor is basically a number that divides exactly into another number. So all these numbers that are here for 18 are factors of 18. Because if we divide 18 by 1, 18 by 2, 18 by 3, 18 by 6, 18 by 9, 18 by 18. Now look at what's going to happen now. This is equal to 18. There is no remainder, which means 1 is a factor of 18. All right? For the 3, 18 divided by 3, that gives us a 6, no remainder. So 3 divides exactly into 18. 18 divided by 9, that's 2. There is no remainder. So 9 is a factor of 18. 18 divided by 2, that's 9. There is no remainder. So it divides exactly into 18. There is no remainder. So 2 is a factor of 18. So if you guys are understanding the flow of this concept, just type in the YouTube stream chat, learning. All right, so if you're learning the basics of factors, just type learning so I can see and get a better understanding of your guys' comprehension. And now we're now at the 6. So 18 divided by 6, that gives us a 3. There's no remainder. That's for the 5th time. There is no remainder. And then for 18 divided by 18, that is 1. So there is no remainder. So 18. So all these numbers that divide the 18, all those numbers are factors of 18. Because when each of those numbers divide 18, there is no remainder. And the same thing goes for factors of 27. So we have 1, 3, 9, 27. Right? So same procedure, same thing again, but we don't need to do all of those divisions again. It means that each, okay, perfect. So Marsha Adams, she's learning amazingly. Very good, guys. So that's good. The feedback in the chat is very important so I can know how things are going. Perfect. So for the 27, the 1, 3, 9, and 27, all those are factors of 27. Why are those factors of 27? Because if I divide 27 by each of those numbers, all right, so let's say first number 1, 3, 9. If I divide 27 by each of those numbers, I should get a whole number, which means there is no remainder. So first one, 27 divided by 1, that gives us 27. Exact number, no remainder. 27 divided by 3, that gives us 9. there is no remainder. 27 divided by 9, that gives us a 3. No remainder. And for the last one, 27 divided by 27 gives us a 1. No remainder. All right, guys. So that's basically how that goes. Perfect. So now we step a little bit into factorization of algebraic expressions. We would have, so basically, factorization is the process of breaking down algebraic expressions into product of simpler expressions. So now this word product right here, where is my cursor? All right, very important. So the word products here, important. So breaking down algebraic expressions into products. Now, once you hear the word product in math, you're thinking multiplication. Right. Once you hear the word product, you're thinking multiplication. So the answer that we get from factorizing algebraic expressions will be in the form of two expressions that can be multiplied to get back the first expression. So this process is basically the reverse of the distributive property that we did. So I want us to focus a little bit now. So I'm going to change the color of this arrow. I'll change this arrow to red. All right, boom, red arrow. So if you focus on the red arrow, guys, that direction is when we did the distributive property. Now you have to pay attention now, you know. So if we're following the red arrow, that is when we did the distributive property where we multiplied each number in the bracket by what is on the outside. So we would have said 3 times x, that's 3x, and 3 times 2, that's 6. That's what we did in the previous classes. But as I said, we're stepping up the ranks with the concepts and the different types of solutions. All right, so if going from that direction, we use the distributive property, it means that to go back to the original form, we're going to follow the arrow at the top where we changed the 3x plus 6 into the 3 open bracket x plus 2 close bracket. The process of factorization. You're going to learn how to get that done. Don't worry about that. By the time we're finished, you catch that a long time. All right. So factorization is just the reverse of the distributive property. You guys can jot that down or just take a screenshot of this screen here so you can go back and use it as reference later. All right, so now, how does this work? On screen right here, I'm gonna demonstrate by solving a related problem. So these are the steps to successfully solve this type of problem, guys. So step 1, look for common factors. All right. So whatever is common to each term. So whenever I say common, it means that you're going to look at the 6x and you're going to look at the 9 and you're going to find out what is common. All right, so that's the first thing. So in this example right here. The answer is already there. If you look at the 6 and the 9, you're going to ask yourself, what number is common to 6 and 9? In other words, what number can we use to divide 6 and 9 exactly? And they don't leave a remainder. So let's say, for example, we have our 6 and we have our 9. All right. There are 3 numbers that can divide the number 6 without leaving a remainder. We can use 1, we can use 2, and we can use 3. Oh, this is very important. So this is the first thing you're going to do. You're going to find all the factors of the first number. Well, and we have a 6 as well. We also have 6. All right, let me fix that. So guys, this might be getting a little bit more touchy, but that's how we do it. We're gonna learn it. So first thing we're gonna ask yourself, what numbers can divide exactly into 6 and 9 without leaving a remainder? All right, so the factors of 6, 1, 2, 3, and 6, and the factors of 9, in this case, are 1, 3, and 9. All right, 1, 3, and 9. So we have already identified what number divides both terms. These are the numbers. Second, do the terms share variables? No, variable is just the letter that's behind the number. And in this case, they don't share any variable because only the 6 has the x. Only the 6 has the x, so they don't share a variable. So step 2, all right? So even before we move on to step 2, after we find all the numbers that divide each number, we're gonna take out the highest common factor. So the number that is common to each is 3, because 3 is a factor of 6 and 3 is a factor of 9. That is why we put the 3 on the outside. Guys, remember the feedback is important. And for each topic that I go through here, I just redo all the examples and the problems and upload it to my YouTube channel. So if you don't get it fully here, the solutions will be recorded and uploaded to the YouTube channel. All right, guys, I'm putting the content pieces together to upload on the various platforms so that you guys can have it. So don't worry if it seems a little bit touchy right now. All right, so let me go to this first example at the top. So 1, 2. So question now to everybody. Looking at 8x plus 12, let's look at step 1. We're going to look at step 1. So the first step says, what number divides both terms? In other words, which number can you use to divide both terms without leaving a remainder? So Google Meet, space, and YouTube stream. What number can divide 8 and 12 without leaving a remainder? So we're not gonna even confuse ourselves as yet with the x. We're gonna go through that in a little bit. So looking at the 8 and the 12, guys, it will be quite obvious to some people that, very good, So I'm seeing 1, 3, and 4. Okay. So I'm seeing 1, 3, and I'm seeing 4. How? Sorry, that was 2. 1, 2. Let me erase the 3. I'm seeing 1, 2, and 4. 1, 2, and 4. So all these numbers on screen can divide 8 and 12 without leaving a remainder. And I'm seeing 3. Remember, guys, the 3 cannot divide exactly into the 8. But all 1, 2, and 4 can divide each number exactly. So once you list out all of these numbers, we are going to choose the highest one. The highest number is the 4. So this is why step 2, sorry, this is why the whole operation states that the highest common factor will be on the outside. So good. So we found the 4. So the 4 goes on the outside. Remember, step 2 says place the common factor outside the bracket. So let's do a recap. So 1, 2, and 4 can divide 8 and 12 without leaving a remainder. All right, guys, that's the first thing. So identify all the numbers that can divide each without leaving a remainder. The next thing you're going to do is this. You're going to focus on each number separately. Perfect. Highest common factor 4, Serene, Sue, fine. So once we found the highest common factor, and so Ramsey, the 8 would be a factor for 8, but it wouldn't be a factor for 12. All right, because if you divide 12 by 8, that's 1 remainder 4. So 8 wouldn't be a factor of 12. The numbers that you choose have to be factors that are common to both 8 and 12. And once you found those numbers, we're going to choose the highest number. So the highest number in the list is 4. All right. So now we will now have to find 2 terms to go here. And our plus sign remains the same. Perfect. So I'm seeing somebody say 4 times 3. All right. So to get to the first dash right here, you're going to divide your first number, which is 8, by 4. So follow the steps. Once you get the highest common factor, you're going to put the highest common factor on the outside. And to get the numbers for the inside, you're going to divide each number from the original problem by the highest common factor that is outside the bracket. So now for the first dash right here, we're going to have 8 divided by 4. That equals to 2. So the 2 goes here. And the x will travel below. So we got that piece. And now for the second part, we're going to take the 12. So 12 divided by 4 equals 3. So the 3 goes here. And that is basically the completed solution. Remember, guys? So Google Meet, how was that example? Let me know if you guys are having any issues so I can do a slight recap. Go on Google Meet, what's going on? Let's go. YouTube, stream, chat. Let me know if you guys are getting the flow of it right now. All right. So looking on the second example, the procedure is the same. We're focusing on the numbers only. We're not looking on the x and the x square as yet. Those will probably confuse you. We're gonna go through the basic steps first. So let me see. Somebody says, okay, they put it right. So they gave the answer. Perfect. Patricia, Valet, perfect. All right. So we're looking on question 2. All right. Looking on question 2. So as I said, we're just focusing on the number right now. So if we're looking at 5 and 10, what is common to 5 and 10? Come on, Google Meet. Easy, man. What's common to 5 and 10? What numbers are common to 5 and 10? So firstly, we're going to list out all the numbers that are factors of 5 and 10. So that's the first thing. So, all right. So somebody asked if we always divide. So the division that I did on the far side of the screen is just the mental math that is done to get your answer. I mean, we could always look and say, okay, if 4 is on the outside, then 4 times 2 equal 8. So that means here 2 must be inside the bracket. But an easier way of getting this done so that you can truly understand what you're doing is when you divide what is at the top, especially when the problems get a bit more difficult. You're going to see how the division plays its role. All right, so listing out all the numbers. So 5 is common to 5 and 10 because 5, 10. So the factors of 5 would be 1 and 5. Factors of 10 would be 1, 2, 5, and 10. However, we don't need all those numbers. We only want what is common. So we have 1 and 5 from here, and we're going to take 1 and 5 from here. So the common factors of 1 and 10 is 1 and 5. So now that we have the common factors, we're going to choose the biggest one, and somebody already said it is 5. So the 5 goes on the outside. That's a factor on the outside. I'm going to put it in a different. All right, greatest common factor is 5. Thank you. That's who. Okay. All right. So now put the highest common factor on the outside. We're going to put back the parentheses or the bracket. The plus sign comes down here. That was at the top. Unless we get into some technical type of negative and positive problems, but for now, the plus sign comes in here. So now, as we did before, we need 2 terms to go inside here. Now, remember, when the problems start to get tricky, the division is the best way to go. So now we want to know what goes here for the first dash. What I did before, we're going to take this 5x squared at the top, and we're going to divide it over here. So 5x squared, we're going to divide it by whatever is on the outside, which is the 5 divided by 5. Now, since we have a 5 at the top and a 5 at the bottom, these 2 5s can cancel. 1, 2. And we're now left with x squared, which is what goes here, x squared. So you see that, guys, when the problems start to get tricky, the division is perfect. Now, to get what goes at this second dash, we're going to take our 10x at the top. All right, so 10x divided by the same 5 that was on the outside, divided by 5, equal. So 5 into 5 goes 1 time, 5 into 10 goes 2 times. So 2 the x, that gives us 2x, which goes here. Yeah, you see that one there, probably may have to go rewind that one, yeah. So please give feedback on how it is going so far, so I can know how much you guys are understanding the concepts that are being taught. Very important. And trust me, high school, whatever level you are in high school, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and even CAPE, these basic concepts are very important to solve future problems. Come on, guys. I'm gonna take 30 seconds. Let me see the emojis in the chat. Learning. That's what we're doing. Learning. So type the word learning and plug those emojis in the chat. So let's go. That's how you guys vibes up the YouTube stream chat. Come on. Let me see it. Learning. Let's put the emojis in the chat. Okay, very good. All right. Perfect. Guys are getting the hang of things. Nice. Let's go. Learning must continue. Boom. And remember, guys, what happens here is pretty well, it's just restricted to the 1 hour. Guys, 1 hour, and sometime I'll probably go over to an hour and 5 minutes. But to have recorded material so that you can go back to every single time, watch it at your own pace. I have my YouTube math channel. I'll show you guys the handles in a minute. And I also created a TikTok math account and an Instagram math account. So I'm putting the content to be uploaded to those platforms in the right order so that you guys can have it. So please, if you have not yet went over to any of those platforms to follow or to subscribe, after those examples, let me just take a minute and just bring this up on screen. These are the different platforms that you can reach Mr. Thompson. So for TikTok and Instagram, it's the same name, Lincoln Mats, TikTok and Instagram. And for YouTube, it's Mats Teacher Lincoln. All right, so you guys can go over and get familiar with those accounts. As I said, I'm organizing content to be uploaded. And for those platforms, as usual, clear math explanations, as I'm doing now, type strategies, basic, advanced math building concepts, the confidence, motivation, support, school testing, quizzes, exams, question down, building math skills before said math support for students and family. So guys, everything basically will be on those platforms. So right, so please go over to those and get familiar with them. And you can just, whichever maths issues that you guys facing, just send me a message on TikTok and Instagram and I'll respond promptly. All right, so we were at this slide. So now these two problems on screen are for you guys to solve. So now I have two problems on screen. These are your problems. So the first one is 12x plus 18. All right, so 1, 2. So 12x plus 18, then 7x squared plus 21x. So I want you guys to take some time and do these two problems. I'm going to give you like 45 minutes worth of silence. Man, you guys probably hear my voice too much, so I'm gonna mute my mic, giving you guys a minute or two to solve those two problems on screen. So if you don't hear me talking in the next minute, it means that you should be working, starting right now. All right, guys, I'm back again. Come on, Google Meet people, what have we done so far? Google Meet, let's go. What have you done so far? So the first example, 12x plus 18. And even though we say example, these are basically problems that require you to get some work done. So even though it's an example, kind of consider it as class activity, basically. Well, no, we have some more, but we're starting out here. So Google Meet, 12x plus 18. Let's factorize this expression.
Sir, the factor after are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 12.
All right. No, so what he did is he looked at the factors of 12 first, and you repeat them. 1,
2, 3, 4, 6, 12.
4, 6. Perfect. What did you do again? So those are the factors of 12. What's our next step?
The factors were 18. 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 18.
Nice, nice. 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 18. Perfect. So what is...
And the greatest common factor is 6.
Nice. So what the student is doing is he's listing out all the factors for each number first. All right, that is important. List out all the factors first, and then he found the highest number that is common to both sets of factors. That's a brilliant approach. So he's now saying that the 6 would be the highest number that is common to each. That's perfect. That's how we get the basics out. So nice. So once you have the 6, now guys, the 6 goes on the outside of the bracket. So 6 goes, sorry, that's a 2, man. Let's fix that. Fix that 2. So the 6 goes on the outside. So 6 is here. Parentheses, remember our plus sign comes down, and we need 2 terms to put. One to go here, one to go here. So what is our first term in the bracket? So we got the 6 out already. So the 6 is the highest common factor now. So what goes in the first dash in the bracket? So what goes here? You can ask yourself, what number can you multiply by 6 to get the 12 at the top? And that number is 2, because 2 times 6 are 12. All right, and remember the x will travel here. So we finish with the 12x right now. Finish with 12x right now. So now we're going to want to find the number for the second dash.
3.
We're going to ask ourselves the same question. What number can I multiply by the 6 on the outside to get the 18 at the top. So that's the question you're going to ask yourself now, and that number is 3. And that's our answer. So firstly, get out the highest common factor for each number. Or in other words, you can list all the factors for each number. Then you find the one, that the highest one that is common to both set of numbers. And in this case, he listed the factors of 12, and then he listed the factors of 18, and then he found the highest number that is common to both sets. All right, Marsha, Adam said that makes sense. Perfect. Try our best to make more sense on the math session. So that's our answer. So now we're moving on to number 2. Guys, same procedure, same procedure. When the question gets a little bit more dazzling on the eyes, remember, we're only focusing on the numbers first. Don't confuse yourself with any x and no x squared. Remember, Mr. Thompson did tell you, do not do it. You will get confused. These are the little differences that help us to understand what we are doing. So 7x squared plus 21x. Focusing on the number, I like to teach in sequence so we get it right. What are the factors of 7? All right, so we're going to jump into that. Let me use a different color. So first thing, we only have focus on the number. We're not looking at the letter yet. So we're going to look at the factors for 7 and the factors for 21. That's the first thing. So if a teacher give you a problem like this, put down all of them up on the paper. Your teacher, see, you understand what's going on. So let's list the factors of 7.
1, 7.
1 and 7. Excellent. 1 and 7, those are the factors of 7. Now, what are the factors of 21?
1, 3, 7, 21.
Perfect. 1, 3, 7, 21. Nice. So once we list out all the factors for each number, we're going to find the highest number that is common. Now remember, 1, if you look at this, guys, 1 is also common. 1 is common to both. Let me just clear this up. 1 is common. And also, the 7 is common. So we're not going like say, adjust the 7 alone common. 1 and 7 common, but we pick the highest one. The highest one that we're going to pick. So now that we get the highest one, that's going to go on the outside of the bracket. So that goes on the outside. Brackets come back here. And our plus sign comes down. All right. So now that we are finished with the numbers, we're going to look at the, hold on, let me do a slight adjustment right here. Let me do a little adjustment, guys, see with me. So now that we find the number that is common, we have to switch to the variables, which is the x. Now, beside the 7, there is a x squared. And beside the 21, there is a x as well. So it means that both terms have something in common. Both of them have an x beside. Now we're going to fix that now. Both of them have an x beside it. So it now means that x is also common. So it's just like how we did find out, say, the 7 common to 7 and 21. Now there is x is here and x is here. So x is now common as well. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to put the x right here beside the 7. So 7x is common to both terms. Now, this is when it kind of pushes a little bit further into the intermediate portion of the topic. So 7x is common, put our brackets, put our plus sign. So now this is where the division is going to help us. So for other simpler problems, you could look at it and say, this number multiplied by this number gives us the top number, but division comes in handy right here. So now whatever is on the outside of the bracket, we're going to divide that into what is at the top. So at the top, we have 7x squared, and below, we have 7x. See it? Now when things look a bit more complex, division comes to the rescue. So let's do some basic division now. So since there's a 7 at the top and a 7 below, those 7s automatically cancel. 7, 7, and 7 to 7 goes 1, but we have to put the 1. So now we're left with x squared divided by x. Now, look at this. X squared is just another way of writing x multiplied by x. All right, so we can expand this, and if we had x to the third or x to the fourth, x to the third is just x times x times x. X to the fourth is just x times x times x times x. So if we're now left with x squared divided by x, we can extend this x squared to x times x, and the x below remains. And now, all you need to do is cancel one of the x's from the top. So this x cancel, that x cancel. So our answer is x. All right, so the x now goes here. If you guys are getting the swing of this. But please remember, all these are broken down extensively in videos that I have on YouTube. Long form videos, 15 to 20 minutes, 25 minutes on one topic. So we run through them extensively. So now that we have gotten the x in the first slot, guys, let's clean this off and move on to the second dash. All right. So now we need to know what will go here. So we bring the 21 from the top. Let me use the color code again. The 21x comes down from the top, 21x, and the second division, we use the same number the same term to divide. So we divide by 7x, what is on the outside, 7x, equal. Now, the cancellation now comes in handy. Whatever is the same at the top and the bottom, that can just be cancelled out. So whatever you see jumping out at you, that is the same at the top and the same at the bottom, those can be cancelled. Right. So these x's can be cancelled out. Right? Those are cancelled. And now we are left with 21 divided by 7, which is just 3. Excellent, my youth. 3. So our 3 comes right here. And that is the solution to this problem. So guys, please Google Meet, let me know. All right, so the person is saying that means they wanted the 5x squared it before should be done the same. All right, let me go back to the 5x. I probably My eye skipped something. My eye skipped something a while ago. Yeah, man, my eye skipped something like a while. Right. So let me rewind this piece right here. So, but no. So 5x squared plus. All right. So this one. So 5x squared plus 10x. All right. So just a slight error from this one. Somebody pointed it out to me. We can run through this again. We know how we go. I always can go back and make adjustments. So similarly to this number 2, number 3 is almost, it's just the same, it's just different numbers. So what is common to 5 and 10? That's the 5. All right, and if we look on the variable, x is also common. So 5x goes on the outside, the bracket comes back, the plus sign comes down. So we're just gonna wrap up this final example. The plus sign comes down and the same process, guys, comes back. So we need to know what goes here, what goes here. So our 5x squared from the top, we're going to divide it by 5x that is on the outside. Now these 5's will cancel, just as what we did over here. X squared is just x times x, and x is at the bottom here. This x cancels this x down here. So we're left with x, so that x goes inside the bracket right here. That x goes here. And for the 10x, 10x divided by 5x equal, remember, whatever is the same at the top and the bottom that just seems super obvious, we can cancel those out. X cancel x, that leaves us with 10 divided by 5, which is 2. So the 2 goes here. All right. Valid Ramsey. So that should clear up the mistake that was made. All right. So that's basically what that is. And on screen, I have 3 basic examples. 3 basic examples. We're gonna use the intermediate examples as stepping stone for next class, but these 3 basic ones are just for you to practice after class, get your brain warmed up and get a little bit of practice so we can have some better understanding before we move on to more advanced concepts. And remember, guys, this is just a small snippet of what is available, but you can reach me on TikTok and Instagram. I displayed the handles to those a few seconds ago. So if you want additional help, this is where we meet: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, for more math-related concepts, extensive examples, math support, math motivation, homework help. If you have problem with maths homework, you're practicing maths exam, maths test, or general math practice, feel free to send me a message. All right, guys, so we're gonna wrap this up today. And remember, we meet here on PDTV live every Saturday at 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. where we uncover extensive and complicated math material, breaking it down into basic concepts so that you guys can get a better leverage in your math classes whenever your teacher pull out a hard maths question. You don't have the foundation already. All right, guys, so that's it for today.
Bye, sir.
All right, take care.
High schoolers, level up your brain. PDTV maths sessions every Saturday. Algebra, fractions, equations, functions, all made simple, all made fun. So you all jump on the bus, let's go to where your future is bright. Matter what we say, matter what we need. No game, no gimmicks, just knowledge we are defend. What not your TV.